Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is King Precious, and if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing to the channel. I welcome you to the family because I know you're gonna subscribe. Okay, in today's video I will be talking about everything you need to know about getting an apartment here in the UK. I'll basically be talking about my own experience, what I did, and how I was able to get my apartment here in the UK. So keep watching. Okay guys, I actually do not intend making a lot of UK content, honestly speaking, but I just thought to put this out, and considering what I went through so I just thought to put this out there, how you can actually secure an apartment. Of course, it's not something that is not achievable. It's easy. It's just you need to follow some due process. Now it's different from how we have it back in Nigeria. One thing I realized in Nigeria is that if you do have your money it's easy. Seriously. But over here, even if you have the money, there are a lot of procedure that you just need to follow. There are processes to their things. So it's not just, oh, I have my money and immediately you can actually pay for an apartment. So first things first, you will need to jump on websites that actually, where you can actually see apartments that are up for rent or for sale if you want to buy a house. So for me, I used Zoopla, Rightmove. I think I did a couple of viewing on Open Rent. So basically you just go online, go to Zoopla, go to Rightmove, and check. Now depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for a studio apartment, a 1-bed, a 2-bed, it depends on your need. And if you're a student, probably you're looking for shared apartment. I think there are some other platforms where you can see shared apartments. So it depends on what you're looking for. For me, I was looking for a 2-bed apartment because me and my husband, so that was basically what I was looking for. And another thing is that at the point of searching for this apartment, of course, both of us were not students, so so it's a bit more stressful for me. I feel if you're a student, that's just my own take, it's quite easier because there are a lot of student accommodation within the school environment. So there are a lot of student accommodation, basically student apartment. So first things first, go to the websites. You can actually streamline your search so you don't get seeing apartment which is not your need, it's not what you need. So to make it easier and quicker, I will just go online and streamline my search to 2-bed, to the environment I want, and to my budget. Yeah, it's very important, to my budget. So once you know what you actually want, it's easier for you to search. So then once you see what you like, one thing about apartments in UK, it's not like how you can see some very nice spacious apartments. Oh my god, I saw some apartments and I'm like, I think I'm going to probably towards the end of this video I would be showing some of the apartments I viewed and what it's like. So then once I see the apartment, I'm like, okay, it's something I like, and probably the date which the apartment will be available is not something that is very, very far. I will not be able to wait that long because when I was searching it was something I actually needed at the moment. So not like maybe I need something in May and I would see an apartment that will be available in August, I would still want to view it. Of course, just a waste of effort. So once I do see what I like and it's part of maybe the location, my budget, I just put a call across to them. Now from the phone call, there are already questions. It's more like they would interview you. Let me just put it that way. They will shortlist people they want. So not even if you make a call, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be viewing the apartment. So one of the questions I was getting is, are you into any full-time employment? So they want to know, are you working? Is your partner working in any full-time employment? Are you a student? Do you have pets? What's your salary? What's your income? So some of the apartments, when you call, they'll tell you need to be earning 3 times the rent. So if you do not earn 3 times, they won't even bother. Some will tell you that, oh, the landlord is actually looking for full-time employment people. So both parties must be fully employed and not just as in full-time employment. So if you do not meet this criteria, you will not be shortlisted to actually view the apartment. So once I call and maybe I'm asked various questions that I do not fit into, they'll tell me, oh, sorry, we can meet. I'm like, thank you. You have to do all that call and just like, okay, it's fine. Okay, thank you, cheers, bye-bye. Like if you're in UK, of course, you'll be familiar with all those kind of language. Cheers, thank you. Okay, let me be serious. But then I did a lot of, all right, thank you, bye-bye. So that's first thing first. Yeah. So I was able to get some viewings, and one thing I was also checking when I was looking online for apartment that I wanted to view, I would also check if it's how much the deposit is. There's some that has huge deposits, some without deposits, and also you want to check the council tax. If it's band A, band B, I know band A is like the cheapest. So because I'll have to pay tax, but I think if you're a student, you won't be paying those council tax depending on your apartment. So I saw all those things. So I needed to check the electricity, so you will know how much bills you'll be added, because most of us apartments, they are not bills inclusive, and also some of the apartments were fully furnished, some were partly furnished, some were not furnished at all. So you're just going to view an empty space. So mind you, if it's not furnished at all, you're going to be buying your furniture. So you would also want to consider that into the cost. I mean, if you're seeing an apartment that is fully furnished for like £1,000 and another one that is not furnished at all for the same amount, you would want to go for furnished because it's saving you more money. Because even after paying the 1,000, you still need to furnish, and you also need to check the contract. There's some that is long term. They'll tell you that the landlord actually wants something long term. So if you're just looking for something for that, it's just a 6-month contract, there is no point going for a long-term contract of 1 year, because that's not the arrangement the landlord is willing to have. When you go viewing, I think I'll show videos of some of the apartments I went viewing. I would advise not to get attached to this apartment, because you might fall in love with some apartment which they're gonna shank you. I mean, after viewing and all that and you apply, you now realize that you can't get the apartment. They'll give it to someone else. So after viewing, the next thing is for you to make applications. If you like the apartment, then you go ahead to apply for the apartment. Mind you, you're not the only one applying for that apartment. I got some viewings where I wasn't even the only one viewing it at the same time. So I think there was one that had 7 persons coming to view at the same time with me. And honestly speaking, I totally love the apartment. I loved the location. And one thing I was looking at, so it depends on what you want. I needed an apartment that was really close to my place of work. I didn't want to go too far. So even when I was checking online, if I see that the location is way too far, I wouldn't bother calling. So there was no point going to view. So you check if it's your school, you want to check something that is closer to your school, so you can be able to commute to your school, to your place of work, to your church, to the market, So you also check around the basic amenities that is available at that location. And if you're someone that maybe you work remotely, you're not bothered by probably commuting to your place of work and all that, you would also want to check the safety of the place. Is it safe to live? The crime rates. I know, yes, you'd be like, yeah, UK, there's no crime, but you really need to check those things also. The crime rates and how close it is to the market, so you can easily get your foodstuff and all that, The transport system, of course, where I said, I think the transport, but UK basically have the transport system, so you would also want to put all this into consideration. So when it's time for application to apply for such apartments, you realize there are some questions. Now, not all apartments I applied for, and these were due to various reasons. Now, some of them, after viewing, I did not like it. I think I'm going to put a video of one of the apartment I viewed, and I'm like, this rooftop stuff. So basically, you cannot stand straight and walk around the room. Some places are like this triangle. So this part of the house, you basically maybe you roll to plug your phone there, because I saw one that has a socket there, but you cannot stand. So I'm like, so I don't get, am I supposed to be kneeling around the room or what? That's also like crazy. I mean, so some of them I did not like it, so I didn't bother applying. While some, in the process of application, I realized that there were some requirements that I do not have, and my husband did not have. So if I realized we didn't meet up to some of those requirements in the form, some I might put a call to know if there is another way around it. If there's no, I forfeit. I don't bother finishing up with the applications. So also most apartment you need a guarantor. Now a guarantor is someone who will basically pay your bills, your rent if you default. So one of the criteria for being a guarantor is that the person is a landlord here in the UK and also earn a certain amount of money. So basically, if the rent is like £1,000, they might want you to earn £40,000 yearly. So it depends on, sometimes they'll tell you 3 times the rent or 3.5. They just have different depending on how much your rent is. So we also we knew that okay, we would be needing a guarantor also. So when we got to that point, of course, the place of a guarantor would have to come in. So how I was able to get the apartment I'm currently on, I had followed, this was basically what I was doing till I got to the place of application. But before applying for this particular apartment, when I came for viewing, funny thing is that I was in Brighton at the day of viewing. I was like, because my husband was in Brighton at that moment, so I'm like, should I just come over to Leeds or I still stay in Brighton? I just told myself, okay, book my train, and I came for the viewing. Now, one thing I noticed is that I was open. I mean, so when I came for the viewing, I was basically vibing with the man that was showing me around the apartment. So we had a conversation. We're talking about different things, and I was like, "What's the crime? I've been going for viewing. I go viewing tire. We cannot just lie. I even lost one time. I know the wrong boat." But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about now. But we were communicating and all that. He wanted to know my situation, your job and all that. So I actually explained plainly to him my situation. Okay, this is it. This is my husband and all that. So he kind of like understood. And one thing I didn't realize that I was the property manager. Of course, I've gone for various viewings. Sometimes I just go view and leave. But that day I just communicating. We had a very good conversation. I must say so. And after I was like, okay, no problem. Just since he gave me the form and said if I go, I should fill the form. It was some of them were online form, but this one was paper. He told me to fill it and scan to the mail when I was ready. I said okay. And I think it was part of the favor I got. He basically understood my condition and was willing to let, because he kind of like he had control over who he was going to recommend to the landlord of the apartment. So it was whoever he gives to the landlord. Of course, the landlord wasn't doing the viewing. So that was, I think, so it was the one who was going to put forth some people application to the landlord. And I think because of that, I found favor. And he put out my application and told me, no worry, he was going to communicate to the landlord on my behalf. And I'm like, wow. So seriously, when you go for viewing, keep an open mind. Don't just go skills face and view and go. Just come in, like, be friendly. Do you get? I know of a friend of mine who also got an apartment also here in the UK, and he went for viewing here and his wife, and they were just communicating with the owner, the person that, of course, they've gone for various viewing, but not knowing the person that was doing the viewing at that moment for them was actually the owner of the property. And because of how they communicated with him, he loved them and he was willing to give his apartment to them. So yeah, and next thing I had to submit my application. Mind you, after submitting application, they still have to carry out some referencing. They still have to do vetting, and this is where the part of the guarantor comes in, because the guarantor will have to also fill a form and all that. Then they'll carry out referencing. So it's very, very important for you not to lie. because these people will check. So if you say you earn so amount, they will verify. Now if you work if you're already working in UK, they will need your pay slip, so which of course they had to request for pay slip from my husband's place of work. And for me, because what I used was actually my new job, and so I had to prove that yes, my offer letter, all those things I had to submit. So if you say you earn 5 naira, and when they ask your employer how much is your income, your employer is saying 2 naira, it might lead you to filling the referencing, and you will also pay a non-refundable fee. It's a withholding fee for them to carry out all these checks. Mind you, if you fail the referencing and they decide not to go with you taking the apartment, you will not be refunded. So this is why it's very important for you to always give out clear information. You write about the amount you're putting, the date, everything, because when they go on to check and verify the information given to them, if they realize that there's some discrepancies, it might lead you to not might not end up giving you the apartment. So yeah, I had to now go through those ones back and forth with the referencing, because of course they had to give it to another agency that carry out the check. So I filled some applications online. Most of all the things were done online, basically email, even your guarantor's place of work, they would email there. They need to verify also that he earns a certain amount of money. Yeah, so that's it. But I know some people who, with the favor of God, they didn't have to submit all those payslips. Probably they met one-on-one with the landlord, and the landlord was cool with them. And of course, if you're just moving into UK for the first time, and probably you're a student, you will not need all those. You won't need to show those payslip and all that, because you're new. So probably your guarantor will be done. But then they would also, and if you're changing accommodation apartment here in the UK, they will also collect reference from your previous landlord to be sure. And also you need to pay a deposit fee, and so that one is probably when you're leaving the apartment. If something goes wrong, they will deduct. So it's not a must you get that money back in full. So it's just set aside in case there's any damage is done, so they can get money from there to repair whatever it is. I think basically this is the procedure. This is what I followed till I was given the key to the apartment. You have no idea how happy I was, because imagine after you've gone for various viewings and all that, the old checks back and forth. Well, finally I was able to secure the apartment. Yeah, finally we were able to secure the apartment where I am currently doing this video from. So it's been a long time anyway, but I just thought of making a video and putting it out there, so for people who need information like this. So yeah, that's basically what I did. Go online, look for what you want, make calls, book viewing, go for your viewing, apply for the apartment, get a guarantor, get the necessary documentation, do everything right, and you really you will land yourself an apartment. Okay, I hope this information has been useful. Please do to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please give this video a thumbs up. Do want to drop a comment and share. If you know anyone who needs information like this, please do share. Thank you, and let's grow the family. Yeah, so that's all from King Precious. Bye.